In this video, we're gonna create 4 unique looks using a spotlight or an optical snoot. Pro tip, the spotlight that we're using it because the cob lights I'm using has a really big protruding pause. Basically, we're using continuous lighting and the lighting comes out instead of in. It's like an Audi belly button. Now, I'm pretty sure in my editing, I got a sample of some of the photos that we're gonna get in this, but I also wanna go through all the gear that we had. Keep in mind, pro tip, a lot of the gear that I'm gonna speak on is not going to be required. It's just going to be examples and you can find cheaper options to still get these looks. I'm using number 1, the A7CR, review coming soon on that camera, and a multitude of lenses, and that spans from the 35mm G Master, the 50mm G Master, and of course the 24-70 from Sigma. Now for lighting, this can be interchanged, but I'm gonna tell you for this look, you're gonna want something that can give you color, all right? So we're gonna be using the AMARAN 300C, the AMARAN 150C, and also my Nanlite Forza 150. Hold on, before we continue, I want to make a quick note. I'm actually using the Nanlite Forza 300B. Keep in mind the AMARAN 300C will produce the same results using the same ideas, all the same things, okay? Just want to make a note, all right? Just any 300 watt light will work. I'm trying to tell you, it's interchangeable, all right? Got it? Bye. Now I'm using various softboxes. That is going to be a 90cm softbox. You probably already have one. And I'm also using a, what we call a strip softbox. Now what you came for, what is the spotlight? The spotlight is the VSA 27K. It is mainly used for video shooters, but I love using this thing because it gives me a very nice large light source that I can control and shape into whatever unique lighting I want to. I can put gobos in it. The other thing, it fits my AMARAN 300C and my 150C. Now, if you have lights that are not protruding like an AMARAN 30C or 150C, then you can use something like what I also use is a Godox SA17 or something made that is just a regular optical snoot. You don't always have to use these big spotlights to create this look, which the Godox SA17 will be featured in another video. Don't worry, I got you there. It is an affordable option that can almost get you the same results as this VSA 27K. All right, let's go through the setup. Setup 1. Now, first thing I'm gonna say, all right, you gotta be on Pinterest. So we're gonna pretend that you are a hot girl, you know, doing a get ready with me video. All right, go through there, pick your inspiration and be very precise on what you're trying to create and try to recreate or just practice these looks, and it'll help you get better at lighting and just overall photography. So shout out to Yulia. Yulia is always one of my go-to models for different shoots that I like to do, and she always comes in very creative and ready to go, so always good energy. Love working with Yulia. So Yulia decided she wanted to look like an Avenger that day, so she wore a bodysuit. But it's okay, the bodysuit was shiny, so she looked like a shiny Avenger. It was perfect. So obviously red is the central theme of this, but we want to make sure that red is not just casted all over the model. So we're going to use the AMARAN 150C to either bounce from the floor or from the ceiling. And I'm using the ceiling and I'm using the backdrop because we're using a white backdrop. Makes it a lot easier. Now I'm using the AMARAN 300C to actually light Yulia separately because it is stronger than the 150C. Therefore, the white light, that soft white light that I'm trying to get can outpower the 150C that is casting the red. So keep in mind that VSA 26K is the key here, not only literally, but methodically, okay? And the reason why is because the VSA creates this really, really nice sharp circle if you need to, really, really precise spotlight. But you can also change up the focus so you can make that circle blurrier if you want to. But if you want to make it really, really sharp, the VSA is fully capable of doing that. And not a lot of spotlights can do that. Again, I speak highly of the VSA 26K, but you don't have to use that. There are other optical snoots and optical spots that you can use. I'm not sure they'll give you this sharp line that the VSA can give, but you know, they still get the job done. So once you have that set up, you have your red light, whether you're using something like the AMARAN 300C or just gels. If you're using strobes, you can get that red light and then you have that circle, and now your model can just play around within that circle and pose the way they want. Apparently, Yulia is a breakdancer, so we were able to take that breakdancing motion and I'm able to take that spotlight and bring it down, you know, down to her level where she was posing on the ground, and we're still able to keep that same lighting setup. Setup number 2, we start with the same setup we had before, but now we start shaping the light. Tip, blind your models sparingly, okay? Because they're gonna want payback. I don't think Yulia was able to do the driving for the rest of the day. Now, some snoots and projectors, they have built-in slits, and that is definitely the case with the VSA 26K. Or there's some way to add it to the setup like the Godox SA17. Now, if you don't have that, you can go ghetto. You can find something that is like a negative field or some way to cut the light, of course. But if you wanna get, you know, professional, you may wanna invest in something that can, you know, has slits in it. So with the VSA, we have the slits, and I'm able to take those slits and now I'm able to shape it around Yulia's eyes. So I like doing it different ways, you know, horizontally, vertically, and sometimes diagonally. What am I talking about? Sounds so bad. But talking about lights. So at first we did this setup with the red light, but what I really wanted to do is see like, hey, what would it look like just sharp? So we turned all the lights off. We were able to get this really cool image just showing her eyes. You can see her eyes right between those slits, and it's just, to me, it's just a unique look. Now from there I was like, listen man, you don't wear the bodysuit, you're looking like an Avenger, but I can't see your body. So what I'm able to do is start to incorporate that strip softbox to outline her body. So using the Nanlite Forza 150, I'm able to at least get some outline of her body without overpowering the slit, so we're still able to get that clear look in her eyes while also being able to show her body. All right, setup number 3. So first off, Yulia and I didn't discuss the fit, but Yulia has abs, so she can do whatever the f she wants to do. But of course, she's still looking like an Avenger. So I want to still show you some inspo that I took, and just the baseline inspo to give us this look. And what I really wanted to do is create this silhouette, this really bright light silhouette that was able to create light streaks around Yulia's silhouette in her body. So utilizing that AMARAN 300C, you're able to use that RGB feature to change it to whatever color you need it to be. And in this case, it's going to be like a yellow glow. And again, that attachment is still that Godox VSA 26K. Now the key here is utilizing fog or fog spray, and you know, we had Yulia's boyfriend there, Andre, aka Fog Guy. He was there to help and assist me in making sure I had enough fog in a room to create that streak of light that I was looking for to come around Yulia. Now I'm going to state this multiple times in the video, but you don't necessarily need a spotlight to create this look. I like having a spotlight because you're able to easily create a really strong beam of light, and a model can easily block it. When you're using just a reflector, a lot of times it's not as controlled as a spotlight can be. So if you're able to use something like a spotlight, a projector, an optical snoot, it will make it a lot easier to achieve this look because now you're creating a defined beam of light. All right, setup number 4, same setup, but looking at the inspo, you can see the subject a little bit. So I want to bring, you know, Yulia out into the light. So because we have that light behind her, it's going to be easy to light her because she is already dark. She's already a silhouette. So I'm able to use the AMARAN 300C, bring that in, and just treat it just like a regular key light. So we're gonna add a softbox, a 90cm softbox from Nanlite. We're gonna easily light her separately and key her. Now we're still using the fog because I still want to have that misty look. I still want that light to kind of create streaks. Also, Yulia absolutely got her payback because I was blinding her the entire shoot, and now I'm sitting here and every time she moves, the spotlight's hitting me directly in my eyes. It was a good time for her. She laughed, and guess what? Nobody drove home, nobody drove anywhere after all that because we were all blind. But of course, like, it didn't matter because we were trying to get these very unique shots, and it was absolutely worth it to sit there and get blasted by light directly in my face. All right, let's hit you with a bonus. Let's go with setup 4.1. Now for this setup, again, we're using the same setup as the previous setup, but the premise is different. The mindset is different. So again, we're using the AMARAN 150C on that VSA to create that spotlight. And yes, we're still using that 300C AMARAN to light her, to be that key light. But this time we want her to, of course, number one, take off the sunglasses because we're not in the Matrix anymore. But now we're gonna have her blocking that spotlight with her head. I'm not saying Yulia has a big head. I'm just saying, you know, we were able to, you know. Now the cool part and the most important part was hand placement, okay? You look at some of the inspo, you can see the hand placement. The issue is I had her posing like she had arthritis in her hands. I was really messing up. I was giving her bad cues. But once we figured out, we were able to create something very unique. Keep in mind, I still have Andre spraying that fog, so shout out to Fog Guy once again for making sure that we had that light streak going through her hands. So now utilizing her hands, we're able to create more shape out of that light coming from behind her. Now, although I'm using the VSA 26K, you're actually able to achieve this look without a spotlight, just using your reflector that comes with your light. But again, the key is to make sure that your model is blocking the light so it's not hitting you directly in the camera, it's not overpowering the key light. Basically, you're able to utilize that light just shining at the back of her head and wanting to travel through behind her, just flowing behind her, and I'm utilizing her hands to break through that light, especially utilizing the fog. Now, everything that I use in this video will be down below. Keep in mind, when it comes to the spotlight, you don't have to use this spotlight. I have the Godox VSA 26K. Also, I have the Godox SA17. Other examples can be, you know, the Nanlite spotlight. You also have the AMARAN spotlight. Now, the unique thing, all right, just in this outro, I want to make sure you understand the unique thing about the VSA 26K, and there was a 36K and a 19, I think a 19 degree, so a 19K. what you're able to do is create these larger light sources and a cleaner light source, okay? And you're also able to use this on every single light. Not only can you use this on the smaller lights like my SmallRig 150, my Nanlite 150, my AMARAN 150, but you're able to use this on an AMARAN 300 or a larger light source like an Aperture 600D. You're able to utilize this thing all over the place. And that's because it's built for tough, all right? What I mean by that is that it's built, out of such good construction. The heat that these larger lights are going to be producing, this thing is built to take that heat. The thing about it is a lot of these other spotlights and these modifiers, they are built of mainly plastic. And when you add that much heat, you're going to melt them off. I'm just saying, okay? And if you just want like a soft spotlight look, optical snoots work. But if you're looking for something that creates like sharp circles, I highly recommend you find, something like a optical projector like this VSA 26K, or even like the optical spotlight from an AMARAN. Last thing I note when it comes to spotlights, you want to make sure that your light and your spotlight fit each other. Again, these AMARANs, they come out, so they protrude from the body of the light. Therefore, when you're putting on an optical snoot, you have to make sure that it has enough space to actually attach to the Bowens mount. Cool thing is, if I'm not mistaken, the AMARAN spotlight is specifically made for the AMARAN 300C and the 150C, so I'm pretty sure that would fit. I have so many episodes coming that are going to just all be centered around photo shoots and just how to create good lighting. So be on the lookout. I have so many videos that are coming. I already have, I think, 5 other photo shoots that I have BTS of me creating these lighting setups that you all are going to, I think you're gonna like. I think you're gonna find them to be unique. And we're not only just doing it in my studio here, we're taking the field trips. We're doing these things on the go. I know, long outro, but I want to just get you all excited for all the lighting, tutorials we're gonna go through. And keep in mind, these are all continuous lighting. We're not using any strobes. I'm taking video lights that we have now have grown to love, and I'm creating these looks with video lights. Therefore, not only do these looks apply in photo, but they also apply in video. And that's super cool to think about. So keep that in mind. Either way, hope you got something out of this video. Please like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. I love y'all.